All right, guys, we're here with another discussion video on everyone's favorite topic, English tier list.
So
We thought about
relevant.
doing a Japanese one, but that would actually take literally forever.
Too many sets.
Yeah, so we're just gonna stick with English for now. We might do a Japanese one later. But to kind of speed it up, I built a tier list, at least what I thought the tiers should be around. And we're gonna talk about how I'm totally correct and everyone else is wrong.
Sure, something like that.
Yeah.
Clearly.
All right. So
You are 9-1 at regionals.
9-1, no top cut. Let's not talk about that. All right. So I think for the most part, I mean, you guys should agree. Well, I guess except Dean agreed about for tier 1, right? Attack on Titan is probably the best deck right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's there to talk about? I mean, it has the showing and everything.
Okay. Yeah, Attack on Titan's tier 1, yeah. No doubt.
All right.
It is definitely tier 1.
Yeah, and just for a side note, I guess we should actually define the tiers so people aren't getting their panties in a bunch. So tier 1 is basically like decks you should expect to be in top cut. If you like enter a tournament, you would most likely see it in top cut. We can agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tier 2 are like decks that can make top cut or even win a regional if it like hits the right matchups and everything. But I mean, like, we consider them somewhat weaker than tier 1 sets. Like maybe there's some consistency issues or maybe like meta dependent stuff
Right.
going on. All right, tier 3 and 4 are the tiers of I hope I win.
Yeah.
I
just,
guess
like,
I don't know.
How consistent
Like
the
you
sack
you
is.
can you can sack your way. Like tier 3 is like you can sack your way through a tournament, like a regional tournament, but like it shouldn't happen that often. And tier 4 is like, holy crap, how did you make top 8 tier?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I see 2 decks in tier 3 right now that now have first place tops, so
Oh well, like okay, when we discuss
by the same guy.
we're talking.
By the same guy.
Wait,
no
what?
less.
Soundless voice?
Yeah, Soundless Voice and Abyssals, Rudra or whatever his name is.
I mean, yeah, but we also know what regionals are like, so let's be real here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just start at tier 1 then, as long as we got all that stuff out of the way. So we're on agreement. Attack on Titan, the Corpse deck, yellow red specifically, is the best deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
I would like to argue that standby switch for SAO is better than it.
I feel
Because standby switch beats Attack on Titan, Attack on Titan beats everything else. The deck that beats the best deck is the best deck.
Not always.
Does that logic follow?
Yeah, but I sort of... The standby deck has a few small weaknesses, which is just like bigger board decks kind of bullied out half the time.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't
Anything
have
that can't deal with 7-5, which is not many things, but they're there.
yeah,
just walled
like
out by
okay,
it.
we're not
Especially with
listing
the
these in
3K
order
counter.
anyway. So I mean,
I figured
yeah.
they weren't. I figured they weren't in order.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see that argument. I agree that Standby Sao is probably the best deck in the format currently of this recording, but I think Attack on Titans just has the solid matchup all around with the better top end. I'd rather have the like burn one top end over everything else currently.
Right. You have like 2 bad matchups with Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I think even the bad quote unquote bad matchups, they're just like 5-5 matchups. So it just like comes down to like deck shuffle and like outplaying your opponent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least that's what I feel like. I don't think it just like straight up loses to anything really dumb.
I mean, it's Weiss. Nothing straight up loses to anything.
Yeah, and then so like we said, Sora Online Standby specifically is tier 1. I think that deck edges out the Yuki last shot build and stuff like that, just barely, like so marginally better.
It just bullies the board better. Like
Yeah.
it wins in the... It doesn't have the same top end, but it just wins through the rest of the game. Has like almost as good of a top end, so that just makes it better.
You could even argue the top end is a little bit better if you like doing the 3-3-3.
and sometimes a clog
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
And then depending on how you put the deck together, you have like other stuffs that come out. Like Link has some really spicy stuff that like when it comes out, then you can like pitch 2 to burn 1 and things like that. Or like even the Xenon restander. Like it has a lot of like spicy tech in it.
You also get a lot more heals with standby Link attack at level 2, don't you?
Is
Because
that right?
the Silica, I think it is, heals with the Link attack.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't come out at level 2.
No, but like you can get the Kirito out and then bring out the Silica out too.
Wait, I'm confused. The
Can't
level
you?
3 Kirito comes out early?
No, I think he's talking. I think he's talking about
Standby it out.
Oh, okay.
That's-
You mean cheese out? Like, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant it was on the card, like it just got a -1 level.
No.
All right.
Just
yeah,
you stand by
sure.
it out at 3, or you stand by it out at 2.
Yeah.
Sit at 2 for a turn.
I think
Use it and
the
get
cheese
another
with
view.
Link is definitely better because you only need 1 card on the board and the climax, right? Compared to
Right.
standby switch. The switch combo, you just need 2 cards to interact.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, bullying the board seems like the very strong point, especially when Attack on Titan is considered like the best deck right now. Any deck that can wall out the level 1 game on Attack on Titan or deal with the Attack on Titan level 1 game like has a like even to favorable matchup against it. So clearly it's going to be in like tier 1.
Anything that can hit 9K before or after backups is going to wall out Attack on Titan.
All right. Next deck, Persona 5, yellow, red, blue, Thieves, you know.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. It has a really good like non-combo level 1 game that can wall out most decks with a counter because you usually have a 7/5 field. It only has a couple bad matchups, I would say. Would be like Sword Art the Sword Art Online Yuki build can be annoying because usually they play 2 different colors that don't match with the level 1 game, right?
Right.
Oh, so you're talking like 8 gates?
Yeah, well, not even 8 gates. You can play without 8 gates. That was just the version I was doing.
Okay.
I think in English you're still going to be playing some amount of blue because you want to play the Futaba because the Futaba is just so good in the Attack on Titan matchup.
Right.
The scrying effect.
In the Attack on Titan one?
Yeah, because the scrying will let you cancel the 3s from was it Mikasa more often?
So you might eat 6, but I mean, well, you probably even less because
But you don't get the anti-damage with it, though. Not often, anyway.
No, I
Yeah.
mean it's not about the anti-damage. It's about walling out with Goemon and then also being able to scry to cancel the 3s. Yeah.
Yeah, like the scry
Yeah.
is good, and then personally, I think the Goemon is good. This healing at 2 is pretty good. They bottom deck your character, or the only way they get rid of your Goemon efficiently is like bottom decking it or sitting it to clock, which I don't think a lot of sets have anything to do that right now.
And you do
like,
have
consistently.
You do have the banish counter, which is pretty good for getting Mikasa's off the board.
Yeah, and also winning against the cheesy Konosuba goddess stuff, just dying from 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it has the tools to, fight tier 1 decks, and I think is fairly better than most things in tier 2 right now.
And it's the Joker burner is non-interactive, which is always a good thing. Especially against Attack on Titan.
Well, I guess, yeah, as long as you're able to reverse their board or remove all cards in front of the board.
Yeah.
So against AOT, you'd have to attack in a certain order, I guess, to force it. Or they'd have to keep at least 2 maneuver counters in their hand, right?
Right. But the that turn support is like 1,000, right? So you should be able to reverse most things on your turn.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
strong.
Well, I don't think AOT was going to have like anything to defend against the reverses of Persona 5 other than the maneuver gears.
True.
Yeah, it's just you got to be really careful when your opponent has like 1 empty back row against Persona 5, or you see them run the 1/1 maneuver gear that can like blow out your end game. But I mean, Joker's the best healer in Persona 5, so you're going to be playing it either way.
Yeah, it's just it's just a solid card.
Yeah.
It's not a main game plan.
All right. The last deck I have in tier 1, which I think Dean is completely against, is TLR.
It's garbage.
Tilaru Yami build.
It's garbage. So
I'm not gonna call it garbage, but I do think it belongs in tier 2 instead of tier 1.
You openly admitted that you want to top with these decks in tier 1. Like you would take these to a tournament and you would be like, okay, I feel comfortable. I feel like I'm gonna top. Lavru has literally a bad matchup against every other deck in tier 1. How is that not a tier 2 deck?
And a lot of tier 2
Yeah,
decks.
and then like Bang Dream Standby, they like drop a field swapper on you and you just cry. You're like, wow, they have AKs on the board. I can't get over them. Haru walls them out.
All right, so I think TLR has a decent matchup against everything except for Attack on Titan, and I guess maybe Sword Art Online Standby.
Glitter Green beats it too.
All right, glitter green's just.
It
down there
loses
for
the
same
soundless
reason.
voice. It's terrible.
Hey, remember when everything used to lose to soundless voice?
So strong.
Yeah, but okay. So my defense for Yami being tier 1 still, is that its top end is still like the most scariest like 2-turn kill deck, I guess. I mean, I guess Attack on Titan is sort of like a 2-turn kill.
All the decks in tier 1 are like 1-turn
Attack
kills.
on Titan is not a 2-turn
Well,
kill.
I mean, if you get 20 stock, it's a 2-turn kill. If
it's
they
9
live.
stock for 3 Mikasas. It is 9 stock. That's not that hard.
Yeah. All right, but either way, I think Yami is still like a really solid top end, and like the cards the set has is still decent enough that in the end it should be able to top like fairly consistently. As long as it misses a couple bad matchups, maybe.
It misses all
Okay,
the matchups
in
tier
this
1.
team format, in a team format, I feel like I can give it tier 1. If this was singles, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting Telebrew at tier 1.
Okay, you're like, it has a scary top end. So can we move Prisma Ilya up a few tiers then?
No, the reason it has a scary top end is because it has a easily.
It has it because of an on
turn
reverse
2
search combo, right?
What?
Like, it has an easy top end because you get like the cards to your hand through on reverse combos.
No. Even if you have a really crappy time and you have to brainstorm every turn, you still slam 3 Yamis, and even if they kill your 3 Yamis, you just pitch 2 cards and you can go off the next turn if you draw into the.
Okay, here's something. You keep the Yamis alive against Attack on Titan. They get reverses with Mikasas. You keep it alive against Sword Art. Actually, you don't get to because they banish it with their Asuna back row. Persona 5 has a memory counter, so your Yami's gone as well.
But that happens after. Well,
it's not favored in any of these matchups. It's terrible.
But I mean, it's not like they're gonna have 3 memory counters in their hand.
You don't know that.
You don't know what you're gonna see at a regional. Okay, these people are spooky.
I don't know. I still don't agree. I still think it's like good enough to be tier 1.
Okay,
Right.
if
Yeah,
you,
like
if
I said,
you believe that, I will hand
in a
you.
team's format.
I will hand you 2 Love Rue for the next regional.
I hate that deck. It's not fun deck to play.
It is not.
I mean, like, okay, so level 1, you still have like, was it the
card that you
Kuchi
clock yourself
thingy or whatever? No, you give like something 1500 power, so your level 1 can at least reverse stuff.
Okay,
Are we like
okay,
just looking
you're
to
10-5 in a side lane.
You're having to
with,
like run a bunch of this bad card.
SAO just counters over it anyway.
You're having to go through a bunch of hoops to get one on reverse combo, playing a bunch of bad cards. Like, wow.
What? I mean, people are playing this card anyway. It's like part of the deck list, like the normal meta deck list.
Yeah.
Only because it's green.
Sure, and no one it gives 1500 power, which is like really important. But okay, sure. Well, like I mean, we
Moving
guess
on.
disagree
Moving
on
on.
this. I still think it's tier like at least bottom of tier 1. I guess top of tier 2. So the problem is I think it's just like the top end of the deck is better than all the other stuff in tier 2 right now.
Yeah.
But whatever, because like it's a combo you can't interact with. All right, whatever. We disagree on Yami. All right, tier 2. So we have a lot of decks in tier 2 because a lot of decks currently just chilling there. They like all lose out to stuff in tier 1 for the most part, because they like the biggest thing keeping a lot of these decks from being better is literally Attack on Titan's level 1 game combo. Like once that goes off, then you can't like reverse anything against them, and usually a lot of these tier 2 decks top end require some kind of reverse, or their level 1 game that's really good requires a reverse.
This at the top of tier 2, you have Standby Bang Dream. That walls out Attack on Titan pretty well.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything at the end. Like the reason it's not going to be tier 1.
No, it does because you're playing the Exodia combo.
Man, that Exodia combo seems pretty spicy.
Heal 5, burn 5.
All right, let's be real. The deck does nothing at top end. Like
It runs overboard.
It
Heals 5.
It actually has a terrible, after playing it in Atlanta, it has a terrible P5 matchup. Because, like, Goemon is just so big that you're, like, restanders. If you're playing, like, the Tay restander, or, like, Field Swapper top end, you just get walled out and you cry the entire game. I don't know about the Exodia. The Exodia combo seems actually pretty good. Like, your cards get absolutely massive, and you get, like, the burns and stuff.
And you have an extra soul you can assign most places, if I remember right.
Oh, no, it's a global soul. You get to choose when to activate it.
It's a global
but it's on
soul,
attack,
but you get to choose
like, you
when.
get to choose when to do it.
Right.
I've been looking at that list. I haven't got to play it, though, so I can't really chime in on that.
I more just like the thought of healing 5.
Seems pretty good.
I mean, okay. So, like, you're at 3-0, and you choose not to combo off because you want to heal 5 next turn, and then you get fucked.
2.
This
What?
start.
Don't you need multiple? I don't remember the exact 5 cards. Aren't they like level, like a couple of them level 3? So you have to like cheese out standby really hard.
Your entire front row is level 3, I think.
Yeah. Like I'm not even talking.
You'd have to get real cheese to get it off.
Yeah, when I'm talking like standby Bang Dream anyway, I'm talking about the 118k wall build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like the Exodia combo can still run that. This started as me memeing, but I'm starting to get more serious about it.
Yeah, I mean,
don't you need 2 cards in the back row, like specifically for the combo too?
No, you just need the TD
do.
Brainstormer.
Oh no, he's talking about for the AK
No, I'm
wall.
talking about for the
Exodia combo.
Exodia.
Yeah, you get a brainstorm. Okay, real talk. The AK wall is like this really garbage, like draw brainstorm, or you could have a mill 5 brainstorm, which sounds pretty good.
Okay, look, that brainstorm is super good because it has pay 1 ditch climax, salvage anything you want.
I know.
Yeah.
Like you lose out on selectivity during your brainstorm, but you can just get anything you want every time you trigger a blue gate.
No, it's good because you draw into standby.
But I would rather have a more selective brainstorm than like having to pay 1 for a brainstorm and then draw a climax, and then pay another one. At that point, I might as well just play. I don't even know what I would play. Pay 2 tap salvage.
Well, either way, that's like the reason it's in tier 2 anyway. All these reasons. So like it's not good enough to deal with every tier 1 deck. It like loses out on a lot of things. I think the early game is like really solid for the deck, except as the game goes later, it just gets worse and worse. Like the only thing it had going for it was that it was at level 2 you could pull out, or even level 1 I guess, you can pull out the field swapper, and then also if you play the Tay level 3, you can pull that out as well and do a lot of scries and silly things like that and start healing down at level 2. If you're able to get that off.
Yeah.
And then during its release, 12k wall at level 2 is pretty annoying, right? So if you went the Tay route at least. Even
it's
not
still
just
pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
just has like early play level 3s that like you can't really deal with because they have so many ways to dodge your stuff. And currently there's no decks running around with anti higher level counters, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like we could bump that deck into tier 1.5.
Except I'm not gonna make 0.5 something. There's like the only deck I would consider would be Yami.
I don't feel good putting it in tier 1, but it doesn't feel right being in tier 2 either.
It feels completely right in tier 2.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever played the deck?
Yes, I have several times.
I just got the joy of playing it, and I just think it has such terrible matchups in the top tier that I feel that it's tier 2. It's like Yami. I think it's tier 2.
Alright,
wait. Oh, I forgot. Are we deleting this off? The Persona 5 green heart
No, we
wall?
put that at tier 0, remember?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's so good.
It's like 9k walls before backup. It's impossible to stop.
This deck is actually like not good. Like after playing it a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, I can consider it in tier 2 just because I want to say cheese factor of it, and people who don't know how to play around the deck very well.
Yeah, people don't play around
No, but what you do is you play that list, you play the twins, and then you play execution, so you still get the 3/2 neg2 soul wall out at level 1, and you just sit on that all game instead.
Okay. Back into the real world here.
No, this is the real world.
Green Haru Wall is like I say like a really like consistent cheese deck against people who don't know how to play against it very well.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a minute to think.
I wouldn't call it a cheese deck, but yeah.
No, it's like absolutely cheese deck. Like it's just if people don't understand the matchup, then or like don't expect it, then they kind of get blown out if they can't handle it. But it also loses. It doesn't lose, but it loses a lot of its value if it hits a deck with wind triggers, and they just trigger wind trigger a lot, like Attack on Titan.
That much.
It doesn't lose that. Okay.
This is why you play 8 wind Attack on Titan.
Sure. It doesn't lose much because usually they get hit into like level 2, or even if they're not level 2, they still have the 3/2 in their clock, so they can still early play the Haru. But it's just like more stock they're kind of like wasting.
They get 7 stock in a turn. Do they care about the 1? I'm being honest here.
I guess not, but it's still like your opponent gets the +1 on the board, right? So you don't get a swing for 2/2/2 the following turn, or you trigger like 10 blue
2/2/2.
gates and just get.
You're supposed to.
No, but
you're
this
supposed
is
to
why
play
you
it every
play
turn.
8 wind Attack on Titan. I will advocate for this deck.
Man, for this
But
one
yeah.
garbage matchup.
No, for every garbage matchup.
There are a lot of wall-based decks running around,
Which is why I'm saying 8 wins.
but they don't help you
might
get
be the
reverses.
play. Who needs reverses if you're just swinging into direct lanes every turn?
I don't know, but like the top end for Persona 5 is like very lackluster.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So
the top end. Of
I
the
mean,
green,
especially in this build.
yeah.
Like, okay, so there are games where you just kind of like fizzle out really hard because either you cancel too much or you just never get the stock sold to your hand. You just draw a bunch of like blue gates, right? So, I mean, the deck can fall apart at that point as well.
Yeah.
And like, what do you do? Because without having all that extra stock, your 3/2 Harus become less good, I guess, if you're going to try to like live a few extra turns.
Yeah, and usually the 3/2 Harus have like trouble even staying alive.
Yeah.
So, like 11-5 before a backup. A lot of
Yeah,
decks
this,
can skid
like
over that.
everything's really good on attack on this deck, but on defense it just kind of falls apart. Like
On
after
defense,
level 1.
Yeah, after level 1.
All right. So then, sort of online, the green blue last shot shenanigans. I mean, the deck is super consistent just because of Yuki combo.
It does what it always has.
Yeah, it's just like a really good solitaire deck, like in the discussion, right?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
the top end isn't.
It sits at the table. It plays a couple of Yukis. It burns 4 a few times, and then someone offers a handshake.
Yeah, like the I guess weakest part of the deck is its transition to level 3, right? Or like, what does the deck really do at 2, other than like play more Yukis and play more combos?
Search
right?
more.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I've
And you
seen
just-
a lot of people put in the Link Strike Sinon.
Oh yeah, at level 2.
I feel like that can be splashed into any of the Sword Art builds.
Yeah,
though.
but it's better because
Yeah.
they can like pull cards out of their deck with the Yukis, and then
with the
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to do the restand for sure. I mean, it builds a lot of fate compression too. I mean, the biggest weakness of the deck too, and I guess this is my opinion, but I don't know about anyone else really, is that it uses.
Burn 4's not good.
No, well, besides that, Burn 4 is okay, but like not being able to like generate enough stock to like do a lot of stuff. The deck requires you to run the level 0 Asuna
Object, yeah.
that shovels cards back in the deck, and like it's really good because it synergizes with your Yuki to put cards back that you want in your deck, and it gains an extra soul so you can be a little bit more aggressive. But I mean, if you
But then the Yuki forfeits that fate compression you were talking about.
yeah, that's why it really needs to run these level 0 Asunas to be able to kind of cheese them into stock multiple times to be able to generate the stock for your in-game more consistently, I guess.
Which also means they can't play a money counter.
they do play money counter in that build though.
Some people do play money counter. I don't like it in most of the builds that do play it, because I think if you're going to play money counter, you shouldn't be playing Yuki, even though that seems like a really bad statement in itself. Yuki just like destroys your stock, like, because you basically want to play 2 Yukis a turn, and then a third something else. The only thing that Yuki does is build fake compression and always pays out your climaxes, so your stock is always clean.
Yeah, it's basically just a pay 1+1 with like a small filter added on.
All right, we have a Contact Collection, blue yellow.
That deck hasn't done anything in like 2-3 years, has
I
it?
legitimately don't know what that deck does either. It's got like
Okay.
anti-heal and
It has
anti-salvage,
okay.
right?
So Yeah, it has anti-salvage, so any deck that runs Gate gets sad. So it kind of has.
But what deck runs Gate anymore?
This is why it's in tier 2. So the level 1
It
combo.
has anti-heal, which doesn't even matter anymore.
Okay, anti-heal's still pretty good.
Anti-heal is actually like still very scary.
Okay, I guess like Persona. It probably hurts, but like,
it hurts every matchup that has any healers. Like it doesn't matter because when you build Contact Collection, you don't build for healing. You build for I'm being really really aggressive on like throughout the entire game until I can kill you and try to stay ahead in damage. You get a lot of value out of the anti-heal.
You get anti everything.
Yeah, the anti-heal is like a pay 1/+1 every time they kill your what's it, Hibiki or whatever, Verni,
Yeah.
and then if your opponent for some reason forgets that it's in memory, like you just get free damage off of that too, because normally you have more than one in memory because you just want the value.
It the best matchup
So
against
strong they heal, you kill
the
them.
Exodia Bang Dream combo.
Yep.
Because they forget Hibiki's there and they take 27 uncancelable damage.
Oh god, that's
Yeah.
horrifying.
And then it's top end, or it goes Shimikaze, so it's usually like a 7k 7/5. So it kind of fails there because most decks can just counter it out. But against matchups, it can get level 1 first usually because it does have the clock search or the on death Rickies. So it can usually get to level 1 first at least plus once. And then its level 2 game, which is kind of scary-ish, is the 2-1 Blue Gate combo. So you play the 2-1s.
Are we talking about the Shimikaze build or the Taige build? 'Cause they're both blue-yellow, aren't they?
Yeah, I think right now you play blue-yellow together, like with the Shimikaze, to get 2k1s back to your hand.
I feel like the Taige build might be better because Attack on Titan and stuff like that. You just get bigger.
How do you get bigger? Are we playing the 1-1-2-5 counters then against my 6-5 7Ks? So you're in like 9K, so you have to have multiple 2-5 counters in hand.
The 2-5 counter is searchable, isn't it? I have not looked at Kantai in a long time, so sorry if I'm getting this wrong.
Yeah, it's searchable, but I mean, are we really jamming like 3 in the deck just to do okay-ish against Attack on Titan matchup? I don't think anyone's really going to do that unless we literally show up to a tournament and there's like 50% AOT is the field.
Okay, so that's every regional.
I mean, either
Which
way.
means somebody's cheating because teams.
But yeah, I think the play is actually.
right.
I think the play is actually Shimikaze. You can still play the Taiga. Like it is a good level 1 card, but I think you in the end you're still playing Shimikaze with it.
Yeah.
At least in English. So you play that into the 2-1s, which on climax play you get a search your top end, so you can play like 3 2-1s, then slam the climax and get 3 Musashis to your hand, and then those 2-1s have when a character gets front attacked, you can sack this character to give another character 3k. So you can like basically sack your entire board against your opponent's level 3 games, and they only get 1 reverse. So wait, I forget how big is the 2-1? Because you can, if you field 3 of them, you can buff one 6k and then counter.
I feel like the 2-1
I think
is
they're like
6-5.
It's probably 6-5 or 7,
somewhere around there.
Yeah, so I mean, it only gets to like what 13-ish or 12, and then a counter. You can counter to 15 with a 3k counter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that's the play, and then you go into Musashis, and hopefully the Musashis kill them. I guess you could still splash green and just do Blue Gate Gold Bar, but I don't know if that's as good. I mean, it could be as good. I just haven't played the deck enough.
Is Akagi still good? Like, that's a legitimate question. Is Akagi still good now? So.
Yeah, Akagi is just like not as good anymore. Like how big it gets, like to 13-14 with the climax. So it's like generally 14-5.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. So it's probably just not good enough anymore as a finishing card. So I think Shimikaze Blue Gate is the way to go. Right?
Probably.
All right. We're probably wrong, so someone will correct us in the comments because we're all idiots.
Yeah.
All right. We have Konosuba, Goddess, and Megumimes in the deck. I think both decks prey on the fact that you can just meme off and like randomly kill your opponent with the Goddess build, and then Megumimes, you can just like randomly like, oh, my opponent took 5, got him, right?
Yeah.
The only advantage the deck
I
really
feel
has...
like Mega Memes should be 3, and then Gato should be 2.
It has clock kickers. They can't avoid. It's so good. Wait, it loses.
No, they avoid it with Hexproof.
You're right.
They avoid it with Hexproof.
Nobody plays that.
Except Yami got him. All right. I don't know. I think Mega Memes is fine because like they basically played almost the same shell, right? And you have a level 1 game that ignores your opponent's
field. You have a Maguro and you have a 7/5 wall. That's what Mega Meme does. And you don't have a good backup because set 2 isn't a thing.
You have a neg 3 backup. It's pretty good.
You what?
You have the anti-change. You have like
one
the only
like
anti-change
cards,
counter
yeah.
probably in English. Unless like Sal has one.
No, that level 1 anti-change counter in Konosuba is awful. I hate
It's
that
good.
profile.
It's -3. It's strong.
But yeah, I know. I think they're still in the same tier. They
Neg 3
basically
to
do the
kill
same
Haru.
stuff. Right? I mean, the profile is the same. Your level 1 game does nothing, or your opponent can't interact with it. So, and then you just set up for early play or level 3 shenanigans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, both decks can even splash yellow to play darkness.
I mean, the goddess early play, Eris is so much better than the Wiz that gives your opponent a plus.
I mean, well, we don't even play that in the Mega Moon stuff, really. I mean, it's an option, but I think most people just play the Union into killing your opponent with early plays and stuff, right?
No, like the only 2 early plays in Konosuba in English are the Wiz healer and Eris.
Yeah.
Are you saying Mega Memes plays Eris?
No, I'm just Mega Means plays Wiz level 3 early play healer. It's like 11k wall,
And
or
it
even
pluses
plays
your
dark.
opponent.
Yeah, who cares if he pluses your opponent? What they're gonna take out that's cost 0 that's gonna actually make a difference. And then if they choose to do that at a later stage, you can just if you're playing the stock soul one, you can actually have stock kick targets like. I mean, even though it pluses them 1, like your card should stay on the board. Even if we don't play Wiz, yeah.
I just feel like the goddess build is just significantly better than
both
the
versions
Magic
can
build.
play darkness too. So like, I don't know. I guess like darkness is worse in the Mega Moon's build because if you play Union, then you can't search it out. You just kind of gotta draw into it or brainstorm into it. Right? Yeah. Well, Accel World, red, yellow. This deck would be decent in English, except for the fact that it has to reverse stuff, and you're damaging yourself to get some decent pluses off. So its level 1 game is like non-climax dependent because it has really good plussing things that require accelerate. But when we have stuff like Attack on Titan running around, that's like a majority of the field, or like at least a third, then you just hit bad matchups over and over again, and you're just sad.
It's amazing if you cancel a lot.
Sure, yeah. And then
the only damage you're taking is the one you do to yourself.
Yeah, and then the top end is pretty RNG, like all the top ends you can pick from. So you have on attack a reveal burn for level, and then you have the wind trigger combo,
which is the same thing.
It's if they cancel, mill the top 2 and they burn for the level.
Level +1.
Yeah.
For the top 2.
No, they don't. No, it's not +1. It's definitely not +1.
I know it gives it to 2 characters, right? It's like on play of the climax, pay 1, choose itself and another, right? I've looked at Accel World once.
I don't think there's a cost.
I...
There might be a cost. I don't remember if there's a cost, but either way, I just remember it gives it to 2 characters, or like it gets like you can stack it on characters or whatever. So if they cancel, you just mill, but there's no +1. Because if there's a +1, that card is super good.
Yeah.
And then I would consider it almost like 2 level tier of finishing power, but no. Because if you play 6 of them, or I mean 3 of them on the board, you get like 6 and like stack like a bunch on the end. It seems really silly if it was +1.
What is this card? Is it green? You said?
No, it's yellow. It's the Kyurike Hime.
All right, we have the internet.
It's from set 2.
Pay 1, clock yourself. This is on a 3/2 when it's being front attack.
Ouch.
No way, that's a -2.
No, that's a different card.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, Oh, you're looking at the green level
You're right.
3.
We'll get back to that.
So next is CG. There's like only 2 builds really running around. It's like either you choose between the Ronco top end or the blue-red top end with I forget the character's name. It has
Negative soul wall.
Yeah, no, it's not even negative soul. It's -1 soul.
Oh,
and then
-1.
burn 1 with a climax combo on the stock soul. CG once again suffers the same thing with Attack on Titan being one of the top lists. Its combo requires its combo requires you to reverse something, but on the bright side is the top end is uninteractable. But both top ends are pretty RNG-ish for the most part, so you're not even sure what you're getting off of it. Sometimes you just like mill 5 climaxes and burn 5 with Ronco, and then you're sad. Or you like reveal 2 blue cards and all you get is a -1 soul on your level 3 for the red level 3.
-1 soul is helpful to your opponent sometimes.
Yeah. So the set's kind of like hit and miss. The only thing it has going for it is rest counter. But the rest counter also is conditional. You need 2 red and 2 blue, which usually isn't too hard to...
It's
not too hard, but like they're...
Condition.
But your opponent can just look at your board and go, oh, you can't play it, so I don't have to play around it anymore, which is kind of annoying.
No, I mean, wouldn't you make the build to facilitate that? Like, I guess you get wrecked by win counters, right? Or like win triggers?
Yeah, sure. Win triggers, and then if they counter and kill one of your characters, like on the backswing, they don't have to worry about it, because... Or like, you know, they keep 2 lanes open, so now you only have like 2 red and 1 blue in the front row, and they can't do anything. Or, you know, you can't counter or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I guess it loses out to Untargetable, which is in like not Concept Collection, Konosuba and TLR. Is there any? Oh, and Attack on Titan. Like if 2 lanes can't be like targeted, then you just attack with the one that can be first. So I keep forgetting AOT has Untargetable on it too. It's kind of annoying. But yeah,
it is.
Next I have in tier 2 is all right. I put this in tier 2, even though honestly it probably should be tier 3. But I have Fate Coin Flip. I really like the deck. Like if AOT didn't exist, I would probably be playing this deck for a lot of memes.
It's like Konosuba. If you win your coin flips, you win the game.
Such a strong deck.
Except
sometimes all it takes.
Well, the difference here is that the coin flip part that actually kills your opponent isn't that hard, because the way the deck is actually built is pretty top heavy for your coin flips to go off compared to Konosuba, like Goddess.
Okay, are you talking about the what's his name? Like
it's Gilgamesh, yeah,
or whatever. Burn
and then the bounce back to your hand, Archer.
Like, okay, so the coin flip Fate that I'm used to playing against.
We're talking about the good one, none of the garbage.
The saber that banishes your climaxes.
That's not even coin flip. What deck is that? It's just bad.
No, it's the same deck, but you run that level 2 combo instead.
So you run a bad combo in a deck,
and then you have,
and then your deck becomes tier unplayable. I get it. So we're talking about like the real
because
deck.
your opponent is now out 3 climaxes for the rest of the game.
I mean, that's not even like, I don't even consider that like a compatible, like a deck that could even place anywhere in regionals.
I don't think you can, like, I don't know. I feel like you're getting walled out by the time you hit 2, and just being denied reverses and everything. It's just not the best.
Your 2-1 that you play that combos off at level 2. You can pitch weapon characters, which is like literally every character in your deck to buff your 4K.
Hand to get this 1 reverse combo off, and then you hope that you mill these soul triggers. It's like, man, what a good deck.
No, but the build I'm talking about is something from my locals.
No, so like I know I played this deck a lot.
Silly.
I played this deck a lot. Like didn't I get second place at our locals like 6-round tournament? I killed 3 people at level 2.
At the low tier tournament.
Man, you didn't play against me because
no, not even at the low tier tournament. This was before the low tier tournament.
Oh, that might have been before I started coming.
Yeah, like
I don't remember.
I killed multiple people at level 2. Like they were sitting at 2 something and they just died because of Gilgamesh. And then the thing is, even if you go into level 3 after that really aggressive turn, you have all your top ends. You have Musashi and top check burns that usually close out the game.
True.
The only downside to this deck really is that one, you need to be able to reverse things, which is annoying against Attack on Titan. You also need to hit like most of your coin flips when it comes to the archer. Like, you don't have to hit every coin flip, but if you start losing too many coin flips, then you have to spend a lot of resources to keep your hand size up to the point where like you can afford to pitch 3 cards when you play Gilgamesh to kill your opponent.
Sounds like
and things like that.
Sounds like it has the same sack factor as Soundless Voice, so it should be tier 3.
Except Soundless Voice doesn't even have like a legitimate top end. Like, I think even if this deck like falls apart, it still has a scary enough top end that it can like basically
Voice's top end is cancel burn 1.
A spooky, very
and that's only
top
when
end.
you trigger the climax, right? No, wait, it's on the Ren. You're right.
I don't know. I think like Coin Flip Fate is like good enough to beat tier 2. Like, not necessarily like the best in tier 2, but like good enough that it beats out all these other decks below it for sure.
What? No, Glitter Green's definitely better. Maybe.
It's in the same tier. We told you that
Oh, you
nothing
said
means
below it. Tier 3 and 4. Okay, got it.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have Love Live Sunshine, the Red Yellow Chica Hanamaru stuff. The deck.
I am actually so used to playing the JP version. What does Love Live do in English?
It just compresses really hard, and its top end is very mediocre. It has ways to
Like, actually, what is its top end? Because I've never seen
It's
it.
literally-
Because I played the chick.
Yeah,
too.
it's
like
literally
burn
heal.
one, heal one.
Yeah, it's literally heal, compress, and that's about it. I mean, instead of the Hanamaru top end, you can do the Yo top end, which is on attack, pay 1, ditch 1 with the climax combo, heal 1, burn 1, which is all right too. But the Yo, when it comes into play, is salvage 1. So you kind of just it has like a consistent top end if you do play the Yo ender. I still think Hanamaru is better because you early play Hanamaru, the deck's set up to mill and always refresh before level 2. Then Hanamaru comes out and heals you down. You play a climax. You plus 3 stocks. Your Hanamarus are 3-1, 14 or 13-5 walls or something like that, or 13k walls on opponent's turn, which is pretty annoying to deal with depending on the decks you're playing against. And I don't think there's enough like early play hate around in English to really hurt this deck that much. It's just that the top end is absolutely bad. Like, the best top end is literally the Yo level 3, and then you're playing Stock Soul Gate, which isn't bad, but still I don't think it does enough.
It's good against Attack on Titan because level 1 bombs are good against Attack on Titan.
Yeah, this is the only reason I like think it's worthwhile in English right now, is that the level 1 bomb combo is good. It's selective plussing, and then on top of that, it hurts Aaron's.
But then it just loses to Yuki.
Yeah, the deck does have very easy ways to get to level 1 first too, with the Dia level 0, which is on death, pay 1, clock yourself, then draw 1. And then it's a filter card too that you should be playing anyway as like at least a 2 or 3 of. So, and then it has a runner to force to take more damage too, even though it's a mill runner.
It has an anti-runner too, right? No, that's
That's set 2. Yeah, that's set 2.
Oh.
But yeah. All right. I mean, do you guys think it should be lower or anything like that?
I literally just don't know what it
there.
does. So
Yeah. All right. It
stops Attack on Titan.
Sure. So the next set is the set I'm not really 100% sure it should be in tier 2, but I don't play OG Love Live enough to really comment on it to be certain, but I feel like it has a lot of good tools all over that as long as it doesn't hit like some of the tier 1 decks, it should have a decent matchup, right?
It's fine.
It just has like really good
fine.
tools. That's it. Nothing's really broken.
It probably belongs in tier 3 because like everything is on reverse, and it like doesn't get big enough. But like it's fine.
Yeah, I can't really see any really glaring bad matchups, I guess, other than like the tier 1 sets, basically.
Your top end is decompress them and hope you stick damage and maybe get a clock shot.
And it has clock kicks, right? But you got to reverse for that. Usually the top end is clock kick.
Which both of the clock shot Nikos don't hit that big of power, do they?
I thought one of them did. I thought the new gold bar one got decently big. I could be wrong. I haven't played OG level.
If it does, it probably only hits like 13.
Yeah.
I don't remember it getting that big.
I'm sitting here trying to find it. I can't even.
I don't know which set it would be in.
I don't know. They changed the sets in English. I always forget. But I mean, either way, I think the set has decent stuff. As long as it can do its thing, it like has fine matchups. Like I said, I think just the tier 1 stuff is annoying for it. I think it does decently
Isn't
against
that
all
how
the tier 2.
every deck is, though? Like, if it does what it's supposed to, it works?
Okay, yeah, but I'm talking like in matchup wise. The only matchups it like has to deal with that would hurt itself, it would be what, all the tier 1 stuff, except for like maybe TLR. But TLR has a better top end, so.
Right.
I mean, doesn't like having bad tier 1 matchups automatically make it like tier 3? That's how I feel. Like having such terrible.
I agree with that logic.
Like
I would agree with that, except the game is like this game is completely different, and we're.
Except you forget that Weiss is a terrible game.
You're right.
The meta, like whenever the meta as far as regionals go, it's not like literally we have like a two deck meta like Yu-Gi-Oh or anything like that. So that's why a lot of these tier 2 decks can sneak by in tier 2. At least that's my opinion.
Right.
It's the reason you don't see like 8 Attack on Titans or like 4 and 4 Attack on Titans and Sword Arts in top 8 every tournament. It's because
we did though.
What is this?
That was Worlds. Worlds is like completely different.
Love Live has the Sayaka's Wish. What is this? Is this played?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. It's played in the Ren build or whatever.
Oh, it's literally only Ren. Okay.
Yeah, just like Sayaka's Wish. It's only Sayaka. But yeah.
It's good. It's good in standard.
All right, we have Bang Dream Glitter Green. Close out tier 2.
That deck is actually terrifying if you forget that you have to crash board at level 2.
It's spooky. It's just like randomly spooky. And sometimes they like stock every climax in their deck with their on reverse combo, and you're just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, but the reason the deck is in tier 2, even though it has a really scary top end, is the fact that its top end is completely dependent on reversing everything. So if it's played around once, you're just kind of it is
built around reversing one card. You literally go like double of this purple girl, and then you stack all the burns on the clock kicker, and the clock kicker's like 16, 18k.
No, but the Yuri stacks a burn on herself as well as another character.
Okay, so they can deny like one burn. Like the fact is, you can stack like two burns and a clock kick on a single card.
The top end for Glitter Green is 3 burn 1, 3 burn 1, burn 1 clock kick, 3 burn 1. No, if they leave.
Wait, what are you talking about? It's burn 1, swing, burn 1. No, it's like
it's on reverse.
Yeah, but you only get 2 burn 1s for the purple.
It's
girl.
3 attacks. It's 3 attacks, 4 burn 1s, and 1 clock kick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you stack.
So the top end is very scary,
card.
but it's the easiest top end to play around. You literally just crash your board the turn going into level 3, or pushing them to level 3,
and they do nothing.
And they do absolutely nothing, and then they can't do anything about your reverses. Then you drop your level 3, that kills them. It's like every time I play this matchup, that's exactly what I do, and I've like 9 times out of 10 I've won.
Right.
Unless you're like super decompressed, then you're pretty screwed either way. I'd rather go with the crash my board in and let them go 3-3-3 than have to leave anything on the board and then cry when they clock kick and triple burn me. I mean,
that's fair. Like there's counterplay to it, but it's not like
And whenever you go with your turn, you go to run over their thing. Their option is then either let you run it over, which is bad, or use their counter in order to get over your guy, which means they still don't have a reverse target. Which is not good. So they lose either way.
I mean, either way, we're not going to, like, even if you say this top end is super good and unbeatable or whatever.
It's amazing if you don't know how to play against it.
It's like, okay, Milky.
Yeah, it's like a better top end Milky Homes. For those that actually know what Milky Homes plays like. Otherwise, you can't even place it into tier 1. Like, look at everything in tier 1 compared to it. It's just not good enough.
Its level 1 game also does practically nothing.
It stock charges a lot.
It stocks its climaxes good.
So?
Alright. So, I mean, do we have any, like, real disagreement with stuff in tier 2? Like, once again, nothing's in order. It's just these things
Yeah.
are considered tier 2.
I guess it's
A
fine.
couple things that might be able to be bumped down, but nothing that can really be bumped up.
Pretty much.
Well, definitely nothing can be bumped up, but it's anything like you think glaringly should never be in tier 2. Like, I can give you guys the Fate coin flip deck into tier 3 if you guys absolutely hate that deck, but I feel like neither of you played it.
I've played against you using Fate coin flip, so, and I screamed whenever you
Burn 4?
got
Yeah, I
two-
know.
Yeah, you burn 1 4 times.
Very
I screamed, it echoed throughout the shop. Everybody looked at me. Good times.
But yeah, I mean, I still think it's
Haru walls might go
tier
down.
2 worthy-ish. What'd you say?
Haru walls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh yeah, we forgot to make Haru Walls tier 0.
Should we just move that down to tier 3, I
Tier
guess?
4. How bad the counterplay is.
Yeah, every deck can play around this deck, basically. I mean,
Tier B.
the decks up below it still are, like, worse, though. Like, even if they play
Soundless
grounded,
voice. Soundless voice plays around it, and then it has even bigger walls than Haru. So like,
He's right.
If you don't
I
bump
feel you
it
gotta
down,
look
you have to bump Soundless voice up.
But okay, I don't think I'm gonna move it. But I think Soundless Voice is more luck sacky than Green Haru.
It's the same amount of sack you have to open with these. Soundless voice is a 4-card combo versus Haru being like a 5-card combo.
All
Is that
right,
a 5-card combo?
You need triple Haru. You need the do, and you need the level 3.
Oh, okay. You're wanting triple Haru.
yeah. Even on double Haru, it's like you still have to reserve 4 slots in your hand
It's
for
still
it.
it's
so,
still one more card than Soundless voice, regardless of how you look at it. For the
Yeah.
same amount of advantage.
No, but Soundless Voice just completely whiffs if they draw the lens, so...
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm gonna remove Green Haru down. This deck sucks. Sorry.
I'm telling you, move it to tier 0.
All right. We're just gonna delete this row here. All right. I hate Green Haru Wall. It's a bad deck. I don't even know why we put it together. All right. So
Alright, tier 3. Now we get to talk about the Vocaloids.
yeah, so tier 3 and tier 4 are like less important when it comes to tournament play, right? For the most part. I mean, the only deck in there I think you would see randomly is someone playing the Green Haru Wall deck that Connor put out, or where they're playing Abyssals, right?
I feel like
Voice
tier
is
3
played
should...
randomly. Like, it's just like such a funny sack deck.
Once again, Soundless Voice just got first. Anyway, I feel like tier 3 should be defined as decks that are not amazing, but you should be prepared to play
They're just
against
sack decks, I think.
if
Not-
they come
I
out.
think
Not
just
even. Not even. All these decks here like lose out to everything that's current. Like
No, but like think about it. With all of the tier 3 decks, there is some kind of gimmick that you will have to deal with if they get their way.
okay, like we're not talking about I'm going into a tournament and don't know what decks do, because at that point you're not in a mindset to like actually win the tournament if you don't know how to play around every deck for the most part. If you're not familiar with the card set.
That's fair.
I have no idea what Bakemonogatari and Angel Beats do.
You don't need
and
to.
You don't need to. That's all
exactly.
bad
I don't
now.
need to. I'm not gonna look it up. I don't need to. But the tier 3 decks, I need to know what they do because they still have good
I
plays.
mean, like, pretty much you just ask your opponent
Sometimes.
against these. Like, it's just like I feel like
Like-
it's more sack factor than knowing what they do. I know with like Abyssals you have to know what it does, but with like Miku, like when they drop Soundless Voice and you're like, oh, how big is your cards? Oh, they're huge. Okay, I see. I have to side attack for a turn or two, and then they just keep getting the shot to hand, and you're like, okay, this is fun. I have to get to level 3 now and to run over your board.
It's like, oh, they're how big? They're 11k. It's like, cool. I'm gonna run it over.
I guess you have to know that they have a level 0 backup. Like that's pretty much the
Okay,
most
yeah.
relevant thing. In the
That's
deck.
what and that it can give a character +1 level, so you can't
Yeah.
bomb it at level 1 all the time.
Well, they also have
You'd
a level support. They can have a level.
Oh yeah, they do, don't they?
I think that's played.
And that Kaido +1 level counter that can go anywhere. So
Yeah.
they can counter above your dude and then give the level to somewhere else.
Yeah. But I mean,
Who plays bombs?
Kill la Kill has anti heal. Ilya has absurd amounts of
Does
burn
Miku
sometimes.
Even... Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, Ilya is like a super sack deck as well.
Nisekoi can compress like crazy if they get their way.
okay. So outside of Miku and Persona 5 Haru, like Nisekoi, what is it actually doing nowadays? It plays
Time Machine, maybe?
a 7K or Time Machine.
It tries to
or...
wall at level 1, and then at level 2 it early plays the green Onodera.
All right, we have this,
and then just slams bars. And
we have this
to
7K
progress.
wall that's easily beatable by like all the top decks. I mean, I guess if we're like tier 3 versus tier 3,
it's enough sometimes. I mean,
sometimes isn't good enough.
Nisekoi doesn't have a 2K counter, which is what Persona 5 has above it, but Persona 5 goes off of 7K walls. They're level 1 game.
Yeah, they're 7K without support. These are 7K with support. And then the counter is actually usually a 2-5 counter because of the Brainstormer.
Right.
So,
which is why Persona's up top and Nisekoi is not. I'm just saying 7K.
Top
7K.
end is so lackluster unless you build enough stock to
Wait,
loot.
no. Nisekoi has the 3K counter. I've beaten you.
Okay.
Oh, no. It sounds like a bad deck.
It is.
Like, so we're not playing...
I'm memeing just because I love the series.
We're not playing the yellow pennant then, which is like arguably better. But
no, you're
either
playing
way.
3 yellow, 1 blue.
I don't know.
I think the only thing Nisekoi has going for it is that the early play of Haru is like really good. That's like the play to play. Or
the Onodera, you mean?
Onodera. I don't know what I'm thinking. The gold bar climax combo is just really good. It
is really good.
Compresses your deck when you play it out, so it lets
if
you
you get
cancel
that
more often.
if you get that off twice in a game, you typically
Is it
win.
owls? I don't know what it does.
It's climax combo on attack. Search your deck for 2 characters, add them
owls.
to hand.
Got it.
It's basically owls. But the only advantage it has is that its change target is on a 2/1/3K counter, so you can
So you just
run 4
you search the
3K.
backup. You threaten them with the backup, and if they try to get around it, or they just side for some unknown reason, you just play the backup to the stage next turn, and you get another healer.
Yeah.
And then you get another 2 searches.
I don't know. Sounds gimmicky and bad.
It is, and that's why it's tier 3. However, it does this thing, and you should probably know about it.
It's like, I don't know. Like, at least Abyssals and like Miku can blow people out of the water.
Well, when we get to Abyssals here, the only reason people get blown out of the water right now is I think like 90% of the people who played against Abyssals don't realize. Don't play your brainstorm to the back row. Don't play things to the back row that are important like until the turn you absolutely need to, and then like Abyssal gets blown out of the water. What else does Abyssals do? Its top end is like clock kicks, which you can play around of.
Clock kicks and a
really bad restandard, right?
It's really strong. It has so much power.
I wouldn't call it a bad restander, but it's a weird restander.
Is it just bad because you can't get off multiples? Is that why you guys think it's bad?
Pretty
you can get
much.
No,
you
you
have
can't
to
because it
sack
sacks
it.
the climax. Yeah.
And
Pretty much, it's.
But if there's something in center lane, they're probably getting over it. But going back to glitter green, just don't have a center lane.
it doesn't need a reverse for the restand, does it? I don't know.
No,
Yeah, it does.
Does it? I don't remember.
I think you just.
It does.
It does. Okay, yeah, because it's really big in the center. It's like 14K.
It's like pay 3, sack the climax, restand.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this card right now. We'll figure it out.
And then your other top end is just a very free clock kick. That gets really big.
Yeah, it only gets big too if you have like all abyssals. So even if you do mix with contact collection, which technically can, like you would put enough yellow in, like just to play the yellow counter, the compass.
Yeah, it does.
That would be it. Like I would put 4 compasses in the deck and be like, I'll call it a day.
And if I remember correctly, the clock kicker gets power if all of the cards in your level are abyssals.
Yeah, if
It doesn't
it's
have
not
to be field.
No, yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna play anything else like the 1/1 compass event, you just lose out on that power anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty strong
So,
on their turn though. It's a really good like player phase deck. Like just the
All right.
powers.
And apparently we're putting Compass in it, and Compass is really good. So
I mean, you don't have to play compass. I'm just saying it's an option.
I've never seen anybody.
I've
play
seen
Compass
someone
in
do
that
it
deck.
before, and I'm just like, okay.
And how'd that work for
They
them?
lost.
Okay, I guess they never leveled it up, so at level 3 I didn't have to worry about it, but at level 2 it was pretty funny.
That's funny.
So what we have left here is Monica, Kill La Kill, and Prisimilia. So Monica and Kill La Kill is just like just powered out at this point. Like, you in Kill la Kill, you're forced to play 2K1s, and your field is not big at all, so it loses to everything.
Yeah, but at least it has anti-heal. I don't know what Madoka has.
It has anti-heal, but it's not like...
It's not even like a good anti-heal.
It's not Kantai's anti-heal, because you pull out a card that ends up damaging you.
Yeah, this anti-heal actually is not good. Like,
You
you
almost
play it
don't
to just the
even wanna pull out
cheese.
the 1/1.
Yeah. The only good thing it has going for it is that, personally, I think you still should be on the level 3 early play Satsuki, so you can try to build up the field. But even then, it kind of sucks nowadays.
No, you play the 1.
So should we move it to
plus 2 soul
okay then?
Satsuki combo?
If these are field-based decks, I mean, well, Madoka has like a giant clock kicker, but like if Kill la Kill is just like a field-based deck that's like been powered out, then it should be moved down to tier 4. Because like I think that like field-based decks get.
But the difference is the top end is good on Kill la Kill, and then field-based decks against everything in tier 4 is weaker. Except I guess Attack on
why is
Titans.
Titans in tier 4? That's garbage.
Titans is garbage.
It's definitely.
Wait,
it's
you have Titans in tier 4?
definitely like tier 2.
Yep. It's a bad deck.
It has Sin.
It is
on.
not tier 2. It is tier 3.
It's like 2.5.
It is tier 3. You wall everything at level 2,
wall everything
and then you
at-
have Sign-Ons at 3.
You wall everything at 0 too. You wall everything at 1. You just
You do not wall level 0 and level 1 bombs.
5K isn't walling level 0. It's like a super cheese deck. Like it's at least. I don't know.
It is tier
It beats
3.
Soundless Voice. Okay, it's definitely like tier 2.5.
Oh my god.
No, but it's like you early play the Exodia Colossal Titan, and then you just sit on that for as long as you can, get some heals sometimes, and then you have Sign-On at level 3.
It's definitely way better than like these tier 3 decks.
In fact, you have a cheaper Sign-On at level 3.
I wouldn't say it's tier 2, but it's definitely better than these tier 3 decks.
Titans is tier 3.
Okay, I can move Titans to tier 3. The only thing I think it has going for it is the Brainstorm that kills level 1s. That's like it.
It also pluses you 2, so...
And it
So
like
you can look at the brainstorm as either +2 to you or +1 to...
it can also
And
just
why are we
sell-
even talking about this? We
-1
haven't
to
even
your
got there yet. You guys need to stop.
Whoa, you're right.
All right. So, but anyway, so Kill la Kill tier 3. I don't think there's any reason it should be even tier 4. But Prism Ilya is in tier 3. I wish it could be tier 2, but the deck has to. Oh man, the train.
We can't get our support. We just have to sit on set 2.
Yeah, it's like it has the burns for Kaleidoscope, which is like a pretty fun Mimi deck. It has it's like the scariest top end technically.
Yeah.
And
It's
then,
great until you realize you need multiple climaxes.
And then the set 2 stuff, level 3s, it has like what, a restander, right? I forget. It's been so long.
It's like I think it like bounces back and then pulls out the healer.
Yeah,
Like,
something like that.
you have to have some like
It's-
abomination of a hand to like pull this off. It's
It's
basically
just
a
not
Saki.
very, very good. And it's based on reversing, right?
I don't think so. I think it's just like maybe
It just happens.
uh
I thought you had to reverse something and then you could do it, but I could be wrong. It's been so long since I've even looked at Ilya.
I should probably know this. I own the cards. I actually like looked at that build a bit, but I don't know. It looks so like terrible.
But yeah, either way, it's just not. It's pretty mediocre, and like its level 0 and 1 game are pretty mediocre, right? Like you have what?
You have a
runner?
7K.
There's the mill runner. I don't remember.
You have a mill runner and you have a
You have a
7K.
draw
You have a
combo.
7K that kills itself if you went into the turn without a stock.
You have a draw combo to draw all of the climaxes you need for
No, the draw
burns.
combo isn't a combo. It's literally draw one, ditch one when you play a blue. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
I thought it was on reverse
No.
draw one.
No, it's terrible. You don't play that card. Well, some people
It's
do.
anytime you play a blue climax, draw one, ditch one. But yeah,
No, you draw your kaleidoscopes. You just don't refresh with them, and you hope you kill them.
okay. So we put Attack on Titans tier 3, because somehow I guess it's tier 3 now, and then tier 4 is just a bunch of sets that like get no support ever moving forward
So
and are
sad.
like out.
I don't
Like,
know,
out
man.
new
Log
set.
Horizon, that Log Horizon's top end shuts down Attack on Titan.
Right. It just like doesn't have any other game plan at all. or do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything besides
It has
make it so
bodyguard.
people can't auto.
It has an absurdly large bodyguard that does nothing else.
Okay, yeah. So like we said, it does absolutely nothing. So yeah, all these sets basically in tier 4 do nothing except Haru. Would be a scary level 3 game if the deck wasn't so bad. Like,
Can't that be said about all of these?
no, Bakemono doesn't even have a level 3 end game.
Bakemono. Wait, no. It has a 3/3 10k that, as long as it's not clock shot, gets to stay on the board.
You start plussing at level 3. Good deck. All right, let's be real. The only scary thing in Bakemono is the 2/2 Hachikuji combo.
Oh man, I don't even know how you pull that off though. I've
played that deck a lot.
In English. In English, that's the big thing. Like, you have literally
nothing. Yeah, a long time ago. I'm not talking about like today.
Okay, so like my explanation with tier 3 being decks that you need to know what they do, but they're not really going to be expected to win. Tier 4 is, it doesn't matter what they do, you win.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've played Bakemono like so much. I keep trying with the 2-soul thing. Literally, the bootleg Soundless Voice with the Karen is the only deck I've ever gotten to work, other than like Tsukihi. Everything else is just like.
What a wonderful pronunciation of that name.
Am I wrong?
So, I mean, the deck that's played right now should be red-yellow, I guess, if you're trying to be the most competitive. It's just like it's just 8 gates until I got a brainstorm every turn with my, I forgot, what's the 1/0 wall in this deck? Is it 1065s?
No, it's not. They don't have a 1065.
Isn't it,
are you talking, no, it's 1065 on your turn only. And then it's like a 5k.
It plays the
Shinobu.
Senjugahara that looks for the other name character, whatever.
That's not a 1/0.
Yeah, it's a red one. I played it a long time ago.
I think you're forgetting cards. Are you talking about the 2/2?
No, it's a 1/0 red.
Fight.
I'm sitting
and
here.
it has it might be 106k because it's that old.
No,
but
it's not.
Then you have
it doesn't sound like a wall to me.
And then you have the level 0, the main protagonist's name. What is his name? Aragi?
Yeah.
Or Araragi. Global 500 to Senjugahara. And then, so it's like 1065 your field. That's like what it used to like do when the deck was a real deck, I guess.
I'm sorry, kid. I don't think these
cards
actually exist.
Unless they didn't print it in English, they exist.
Oh, it's Nisei. Okay, it's Nisei. I haven't looked at these bad Nisei cards. It's a 6k.
Yeah.
We should stop fighting.
And so you
it's 2 hours long.
You play
too long.
You played the early play support, so that your Senjugahara at 1 is 6/5, and then at level 2 you early play.
God. Okay.
You early play your level 3
so
Senjugahara.
strong. Let's move on.
Something I just want to say is if you have to jump through. Oh wait, this is bottom tier. Yeah, you're right.
You early play Senjugahara, and then your opponent, if they're bad, like runs into it, and you get to kill their fields. They lose attacks or lose their back row. But like besides that, like the deck doesn't do enough. That's why it needs 8 gates, and it needs to like brainstorm every turn.
It has level 2 bombs and has a field swapper.
Oh, okay, level 2 bombs, all right, but like we're not looking to bomb anything at level 2.
Straight to tier 1. Let's go. Level 2 bombs.
So meta.
What is anything gonna do against that?
So
you kill the Titan Changer.
So Angel Beats, Fairy Tail both have nothing going on for it. Haruhi's top end is like the only thing that's semi scary. Everything else is like whatever.
Does English have the anti-climax climax combo counter?
Should.
Does it in English?
Yeah.
Did it get printed?
It should have. I think only Swing didn't get printed, right?
Okay, sure. I mean, that's also, it has that going for it too. So you play some amount of blue.
But like,
play.
you really don't need a climax combo against Haruhi because it's Haruhi.
Persona 4 has nothing going on. What, you play Yukata or like good stuff Persona? If you're gonna play Persona, you just play Persona 5. I don't even know why I have it as Persona 4 on here.
I don't know either.
Okay, no. You play Persona 5, splash 1 or 2 Persona 4 cards, and have your deck name as Persona 4.
The only card in Persona 4 you'd be playing would be the 1/1 Protag counter, which is the most spiciest counter ever, except it's unsearchable in the Persona 5 build because it does not have Thief trait. I actually wanted to play that card in my Japanese deck if I was going to take it to Nationals this year, but I just couldn't get that card because it's sold out in Japanese everywhere, because that's basically what it's used for in the Pro Tag deck. So Log Horizon does nothing. So the very last...
It has a card that mills 4.
So the very last tier we have here is these very sad Milky Holmes trial or like learning deck they gave out. Okay. It's technically legal. I don't even know why we have this tier here. And Disgaea, which literally has no cards.
Kit, how much would you pay me to bring Milky Holmes to Houston?
So strong.
I wouldn't pay you at all.
Don't worry, I'll pay you to sabotage our team.
I mean, this guy is just...
No.
Disgaea? Okay.
Here's what I'll do. I'll get an entire new team, and I'll sabotage their team.
Okay, you want to talk about sack factor? Disgaea has, like, 4 heals on a top end. It has, like, a 4 soul clock shooter. It's got,
If it's
got like literal. It's got ways to recoup hand the entire game and just like go ham.
It's an absolute sack deck. Yeah, it's 100%
you just
sack.
Slam
but
+2 souls every turn.
I legitimately think that is better than the abomination that is Monogatari in English. Like, I think it's like tier 4.
I do think Disgaea should be the top of tier 4.
No, you just literally don't clock against this guy and you win. Like, I don't understand why people don't understand this. Like, what are they going to do? Their 1,500 backups going to kill my level 1.
No, their 1,500 backups on the board because
on first deck,
they play that
so
they can have an attacker. I mean, 1,500, 3K, they're all the same. That's Soul Rush. There is, like, people who think that you can still play, like, I think it's like an 8-5 or like a 9K, and it gains 500 times the level of the card in front of it.
The blue
like
level 3?
Yeah. You can play Wingslayer. Wingslayer can blow people out, right?
I mean, what decks are we actually blowing out with Wingslayer here?
Anything, because they put back row. It's like the same thing as Abyssal.
You get rid of Aaron. You get rid of Aaron after it's comboed. You Wingslayer away Aaron. You beat the Attack on Titan matchup.
Confirmed.
Now. Boom.
You also have a Kaiki in the deck. Like, there's a 1/1 minus 500, and you can like snipe back row without taking damage.
Attack on Titan has a Kaiki on a 0/0.
What back row are we even looking to snipe out with that? I guess you play Gates, right?
Yeah, and it gets standby. And also it has a level 3 that literally blows up their level 3s. Like, if you're going for like a field-based approach, it's not good, but like it does exist. I'm sorry, you don't get to see me play those ever, but it does have something that blows up level 3s, and then like it can contest board a little bit that way.
I don't know. I don't think it's even good enough to put in tier 4.
It's also got a big bodyguard.
Sure.
What good things can we say about Milky Holmes?
It has a 2/2 salvage combo.
It has a 2/2 salvage too.
Yeah. Nothing. It just exists. That's like the only good part.
It has gates.
So I mean, that's basically it, right,
get to
guys?
draw a card.
If you see the mirror match, you get to play rock paper scissors instead.
Yeah. That's also very fun. But I mean, so I guess this is basically the tier list. I don't know when we're gonna revisit this. Maybe like at
4
the
years
end
after we get 2 more sets.
No, like at the end of this season.
I would say end of next year.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, I mean, because there's a bunch of like sets that actually change the meta a lot coming out pretty soon, and by pretty soon I mean after this trios
Sunshine.
You've only announced 3 sets.
Yeah, you have Sunshine.
Sunshine is coming out.
You have Sunshine, Bang Dream, Gurren Lagann.
I don't think Gurren Lagann would change too much.
No, Gurren Lagann will probably.
Unless people are just that hype about Gurren Lagann.
It's not even about hype. It's actually pretty decent. Like, as much flack as it gets in Japanese, the set in game is pretty decent. And like its normal deck is pretty like straightforward. It has some tools to like combat some silly stuff in English. So I think it's doable. You just never play it, and everyone too busy crapping on the set in Japanese because it was like kind of already powered out before it was powered out.
Yeah,
it's like
in Japanese.
Too late.
Yeah, if it was released like a year ago,
the 1/1 promo Yoko, and you just make Attack on Titan cry.
What was the?
But yeah, if it was released like a year ago, it probably would have been pretty competitive because the top end's
Oh yeah,
pretty good.
definitely.
Yeah, or if it would have.
It's just the timing of its release was like pretty bad in Japanese because everything started getting like a little bit crazy, I guess. I don't know, but I really like its top end. I really like its early plays. It has a decent plussing combo at 1.
The merge deck is fun.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure like when that comes out, we'll be seeing it topping somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess
Sunshine's definitely going to make some kind of an impact, though. That deck is ridiculous whenever it goes off.
yeah, Sunshine's a pretty solid deck. Was there any other sets coming out after those 3? Have they
Bang
announced?
Dream at some time, and
Yeah, well, that's just like a whole
There's
thing
only
by
3.
itself.
There's literally only 3 things announced. And that's it.
yeah.
Really, dang. English.
Hopefully we'll get
step
more.
up.
There's a bunch
Yeah.
of sets I want to see in English. So.
Hopefully by the end of the trio season, they'll announce a bunch of sets or something. But yeah, I guess that is it for the discussion. Well, maybe you'll see us in like 6 months or something when more sets are out.
Yeah.
Other than that, we'll put this in the comments below. I'll put a link or whatever so you guys can like look at it. It includes the Climax Trigger tier list we did for whatever reason. And then there's a JP tier list in there that's really old, so don't even look at it. I already crossed it out. I should probably just delete it. And one day...
Don't delete it. It is the
Yeah,
definitive
no.
tier list.
Man,
One
this
day
one.
when we get around to it, maybe we'll do a JP tier list.
No.
But that's probably like a 2-hour plus video.
This is already.
It took us an hour and a half to get through this one. It would take us 2 hours. To
Yeah,
get through
well,
that
this would have
one,
been a
at
lot
least.
quicker if everyone stopped memeing so much in this video.
That is literally impossible.
All right. Other than that, later, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoy our channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, as it does help our channel grow. Or you can reach out to us at any of the following social media links below. See you guys in the next video.